All right, let me know if you can hear me now. Nothing like technical issues. First thing to start. If someone in the chat can let me know if you guys can hear me now, that would be great. Yes, no? Maybe so. Awesome. Thank you. All right, sorry about that. So let me just start all over again really quickly. We've got, or I should say, we had some high impact news here. Obviously, this morning, U.S. initial jobless claims came in lower than expected. I'm sorry, came in higher than expected. And U.S. housing starts came in lower than it was expected, which is kind of what I was expecting. And then today, don't forget we have oil inventory. Typically, oil inventory comes out Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Whenever there is a trading holiday or a shortened day, they move that report out a day, and they also change the time. So just be aware of that. More than likely, obviously anything can happen, but more than likely, that won't affect session two as much. And then taking a look at the commodities markets, we've got oil that has been in an uptrend here this morning, and gold has pretty much been, it's tried to make a push up, but has just kind of been sitting in this range right around this 23.53 number for a good amount of time here. And you can also see that as you start to see a lot of inside bars on your chart, that's just one really good indicator of indecision and consolidation in the marketplace. So it's a pretty damn good indicator of that. We are currently trading oil session one, and in gold, as far as our session times have now started. They do go from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Oil session two starts at 9 a.m. and we will look for a trade up until 10 a.m. Now, we really didn't have, well, we had here a scenario in gold. Remember, I never take the first inside bar of the first session, because your source bar would be pre-session, and that is one of my rules or my conditions for placing trades. If you're new to the channel, you're new to the chat, obviously, welcome. There is a website that I created to help traders and to help people kind of understand my strategies a little bit better. And if you go, I think I linked it at the top of the, yeah, it's linked at the top of the chat. If you go to robstrades.com, I have, that's a site that I created where to kind of consolidate all of the indicators and the strategies. They're all listed very, very organized. So it starts off with the 15-minute Rob reversal, which is now up pretty good for June. So you can watch the video on the strategy, my exact rules and conditions for when placing trades. You'll find that here. And, one of our awesome Discord members, Money for Matt, many of you might know him, especially if you're on Discord. He has created an indicator or a strategy that you could download for NinjaTrader and pretty much trade the Rob reversal automatically. So it'll take the trades for you. It'll set pretty much follows our conditions or my conditions to the T. If you're not looking for the strategy and you're just looking for, marking up candles to find the strategy, like these red arrows and green arrows, this indicator can also be found on the website as well. And let me just make sure that, all right, we're good. And the same thing for my morning oil strategy. Again, the video, the rules, how to install the strategy. And again, these are for NinjaTrader. So If you're on a different platform, I am sorry, but majority of these strategies are pretty damn easy to trade. So I mean, I trade them manually each morning. As most of you know, every morning or I should say almost every day, I post a recap video of all of the trades that my strategies take. All right, since we got a little bit of a downtime, let's try to map up some of our levels here. So I'm starting off here on the NQ. I like to start off on the 15-minute time frame, and from there I like to build out kind of my trading plan for the day. And I like to find areas where, I'm trying to find one here so I can kind of give you a pretty good example of one. All right, so right here. If you guys take a look at the NASDAQ here, the NASDAQ was in a downtrend here. So obviously price action was moving down. And again, I know I state this all the time, but for one reason or the other, the NASDAQ reversed and it started to make higher highs and just pushed out of made a U-turn. Let's just call it a U-turn. And from that U-turn, I have found that, and looking at these charts for a very long time, I have found that there's a very good likelihood of, at that U-turn mark, that we will get some kind of reaction from the market when the price action comes back down into that area. So what I will do is I will first start off on the 15-minute time frame, and I like to find two levels below price action, and I like to find two levels above price action. It doesn't happen every day. The nice thing is that when it doesn't happen, it kind of tells you in which area you want to trade or not trade. So many of you know I don't take a trade every day on this. Typically, I think I took 2 trades. I can't remember if it was Monday or Friday, but that was one of the first times that I've ever taken a secondary trade on my levels. I typically like to take one trade. I like to find one really good cherry setup, and then from there, kind of just wait for price action to tap into one of my levels. So what do? I will take a solid blue line in my case. That's the color I've picked. And I will just put a line where the two bodies pretty much intersect. Again, I'm not concerned with the wicks, but I like to put them right where the two bodies intersect. Okay? And from there, I now know that on my chart that I've got a 15-minute level, which I consider to be a little bit stronger than a 5-minute level. And I will then try to find something, obviously I like to see 2 where price action, 2 below and 2 above. And not really liking this one so much just because this had such a high wick. But the fact that I really don't have anything above us, I don't think so. Nope. We're at the highs here, so let me just plug one in right here. So pretty much everything I have above me. Now let's take a look and see if I can find another one. Like, this is a great setup right here. I love this level. You can see it's very clear. You definitely had a U-turn, a V, whatever it is that you want to call it. Now we had price action pretty much go for a few hours straight up, not one down bar here, okay? Then you get into an area of consolidation. So are there any levels here? Nothing that I see. There's nothing here good that I see. Nothing here good that I see. I'm not finding any type of U-turn. Yes, I have a U-turn here, but there's way too much consolidation here. So again, not a level that I like. And right here, so I'm taking a look at this one right here. This would be a level that I would like to look at. Here's my problem with this level. is if I map this level right here, one, I had the next candle almost tap into that level. And when price action came back down to this level, we got the reaction that I would look for, but it's already tapped into it. So once you tap into it once, it starts to lose its power. And then if you tap into it a secondary time, it's untradeable in my opinion. So I will delete that. I will jump into, so we currently have an oil session 1 setup that is appearing. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle, so let's see if we get a trade. All right, so we got a setup here on oil. We got an inside bar right here. It's obviously a doji, but it's still a inside bar. Let's see. Let's see what price action wants to do here. Let me know in the trade if you guys traded yesterday. I did not. I took the day off from trading. I did take a look at the strategies, and I believe gold was a winner yesterday for 15 ticks off of a inside bar at about 815, close at 820. And then in oil, I believe we had a winner and a loser. Oil session 1 yesterday was a winner for 11 ticks off of a double inside bar play. Again, love those. If there was one trade that I could take, which would be the cherry trade on these inside bars, would be 2 inside bars in a row. And then it looks like session 2 was a loser for 8 ticks. So I guess if you were trading yesterday, you would have been profitable. Let's see, 15 plus 11, that's 26 minus 8. 18 ticks of profit yesterday if you were trading those 3 sessions. Nothing huge, but it's still money. All right, let's see here what oil wants to do. Seems to be a pretty common theme lately. Price action has been not as strong. So I mean, obviously we're getting into the summer months, but I've been noticing trades taking much longer than normal. So we're looking at 16 tick trade here, or $160. Let me just get this guy. All right. So here we're obviously looking for momentum. We're looking for a clear push out of this small area of indecision in the marketplace. And hopefully we can get a pretty good thrust here. Smaller trade, 16 ticks. So I would say the average size trade in oil session is about 23 ticks. 22 to 23 ticks is on average. So this would be a below average probably trade as far as what our take profit we're looking for. And then if we take a look on the right hand side of our chart, we got gold. We're obviously actively looking for a gold trade as well. So we currently have a inside bar set up, but we still have 1 minute and 10 seconds left on this candle. If we don't get a trade here in gold, I'll jump back into the charts so we can finish mapping out our levels, see if there's any type of trading opportunities. but with the NASDAQ, haven't really seen anything yet. So I'm looking for this to get to about probably about $110 in profit. And at that point, I will then reduce my risk from 16 ticks down to 8 ticks. That's a tweak that I made a few months ago that's honestly really helped me out with risk and preservation of capital. I currently am not trading. Oh, we got 15 seconds left in gold. Looks like we might get a setup here. Let's see. 5, 4, 3. All right, so we have a setup now in gold, and we are currently in a trade in oil. How exciting. Those of you in the chat, if we could just do a location check, see where you guys are trading from. I am in one of the suburbs of Chicago, so if you guys live nearby, you know how freaking hot it's been lately. All right, so it looks like we're about 24 ticks of stop loss on our gold trade, and we will look for 24 ticks of take profit. So currently in two different trades. So we got a trade in oil and a trade in gold. Very simple strategy. You know, the inside bar play has it's been, one, very profitable for me. Two, it has completely changed my approach to trading, where it's a lot more mechanical rules and condition-based trading. And I have noticed that the quantity of trades that I've been taking now versus, let's just call it, a year and a half ago, is just, it's night and day. So if anything, just the amount of money that you save on commissions, that was a pretty good push right there. I would say that's 70%. I hate that we just got that big rejection there, but I don't like that one. That was a very big rejection, a very quick one. So I reduced my stop on gold down to $120, still looking for $240 of profit. Sarasota, Florida. Nice. We got a place in Deerfield Beach, Florida, so our family here loves Florida a lot. Some pretty good movement. Be nice to get two winners right here. Let's see what happens. Canada. Vancouver. Haven't been to Canada in a while. Long while. Come on, let's get these final pushes. Two strong pushes on both sides would be very, very nice right now. Honestly, more worried about gold than I am oil. I'm honestly really not that worried about either of them, but you gotta take your wins with your losses. Take your losses with your wins. Georgia. Love Georgia. Come on, let's get this final push. Like to get my levels done before the market open. I usually have my levels done at around 7:35, so it gives me a good 45 minutes to for price action to further develop before the open. But the days that I go live, I like to map out the levels with you guys so you can hopefully understand what it is that I'm looking for. And we're pretty close to 70% in oil. Yeah, gold right now is the one that I honestly do not have a good feeling on. Just because we had such a very strong rejection, very quick rejection, that did not like that one. But we'll see. Maybe it continues. Let's have some buyers step in here. But you can see how it just kind of it gets attracted down to this range area of consolidation, whatever you want to call it, and it just wants to kind of tap right back into it. So we'll see. Feel pretty good about oil though. Come on, gold, give me a push. No. Come on, gold. I'll also be sharing the stats for June coming up here once we get out of these two trades. I've got the updated stats for June. Again, opened up a channel in my Discord where I pretty much put, I think, 5 months, maybe 6 months of stats on all of the strategies. So if you haven't joined Discord, I highly recommend doing that. It's in all of the descriptions of any one of my videos. There's a link to Discord there. And then in the current month, I like to update these stats once a week. But I figured for today, we can, for the live session, I would update it as well. Should I do my secondary coffee pour? I don't know, I have this thing where sometimes I feel if I go to get some coffee, the trades all hit. Or the trade that I'm in usually hits. No, I'm not superstitious, but yes, I am. All right, oil's stalling out. Gold doesn't look too good. I'll be back in 2 minutes with a fresh cup of coffee. All right. See, well, I'm back and we're up 30 bucks now in gold, up 30 bucks in oil. Um, Come on, oil. Come on. Strong push right here. Damn, that coffee's good. That's just blessing from your coffee. I believe so. I strongly believe so. Come on. All right, that was the open. We should get a push here. Let's go. Let's go. This is going to either push one way or the other here. Let's go. Oil back to break even. Gold up 110. Now 60. Ugh. Come on. Let's see if I can take a look. NASDAQ is dropping here. All right, let's just take a look really quickly at the levels. So I stated that this was an area that I did not like because, again, it had already been tapped into. So just seeing if I can find anything else. Do I like this area here? I guess I could put one more level right there. All right. So that's pretty much my 15-minute levels. Not as many as I would like. I got one above me. I got one below me. So now we'll switch over to the 5-minute time frame and let's see if there are any trading opportunities. Let's see. All right, so I've got an area right here, very close to my 15-minute level. I will make this one a dotted line, so that indicates to me a 5-minute 5-minute timeline. Currently, this would have been one, but this looks like it's no, that had not been tapped into, but it just got tapped into. So again, if I would have had these done a little earlier, you guys could have probably seen a rejection there. Let's see if there's anything else. Here's a good one. Here's a really good one. And ooh, we've got this 15-minute level also has a 5-minute right at the exact level, so I consider that to be a pretty strong one. And let's see here. I think this is all big time price action movements. Okay. Let's see if I go back to where we're at. Let's see if there's any trading opportunities yet. And there is not. So what I'm looking for... Oh, what happened? So loser in gold and oil now took a dump after the 8:30 equities open. So the only benefit here is obviously we took a reduced risk on here, which again, I think saved me. Let me see gold. Let's see really quickly if we still would have been in this trade or not. No, it would have had to tap into down here. This would have been our stop loss on the original. So we'll see. We'll see if that reduced risk costs me on this one or save me some money. We'll find out. All right, hopefully oil gets us strong. There we go. There's a nice little push. Let's go. Let's go. Morning, Ralph. All right, let's get back into the... All right, do I see any trading opportunities? On the NQ, currently, no. Here's the reason why. if I would say, let's take an entry off of this 5-minute level at 2176, we can target this level at 2226. That's a trading opportunity, but the problem that I see with this trade is that where does my stop loss go? The only level that I have between this level and this level is a very big range. Let's see exactly what the range is. Targeting 49 points with a stop of 50 points. Not realistic on the NASDAQ, not a trade setup that I would entertain. Okay. Now, that's not to say that this trade setup would not happen. It could happen. But what I am looking for is very clear entries, very clear take profits, and very clear stop losses. And I don't see that here on this scenario down here. So let me delete these so I don't confuse anybody thinking that that's a trade. Now, if we look above us, we've got a 15-minute level at 23.46. And I've got a 5-minute level at 351. This looks very appealing to me because your stop loss is very close to your entry. So it could develop into a trade, but there's currently no trade to be had. And the reason why, well, let's say that we get a push up to this entry and we take a short. Where's my take profit going to be? I have no clear take profit yet because I have no level that I've mapped out here on the 5-minute or the 15-minute. So even though I have a very clear entry, I have a very clear stop loss, I do not have a very clear take profit. And that to me invalidates any type of setup that I might want to take a look for. Now, that's not to say as price action develops, you might get one of those U-turns here. And you might get a push off of the 5-minute or the 15-minute, and you might map out a new level. Let's just say right here at 2320. I'm saying, it's not a level, but let's just say a level was to develop. Then there's a trading opportunity that happens. Okay. So currently on the NASDAQ, nothing here really that I like. Let me just post this one in my Discord. Give me 1 second. What's oil doing? Let's see. Ugh. Come on, oil. Why you gotta be so mean to me today? Downloads, levels, and Q. Today is the 20th. All right, got that one. Let's jump into the ES. Let's see what the ES has to. Let's jump to the 15-minute. I got nothing up here that I like. Okay. Jeez. And you can see that there's nothing here that I like. No clear U-turn. Got a U-turn here, but nothing where it was like a stark one-way dropping and going into. Did we just get stopped out? We did. The live stream loss continues. All right, down $300 already for the day. Took a loss in gold and a loss in oil session 1. Honestly, oil session 1 to me looked pretty damn promising. Okay. That kind of stunk. All right, keep looking for my levels here on the 15-minute. Don't like, God, there's nothing. It's been like 3 days of just not. Let me just see right here. Obviously, it's way down there. And let me just see if this has been tapped into. It already was. I mean, it's kind of clear as day. There's just not, there's really no good trading opportunity. There's no really 15-minute level that I like above us, and there's really nothing that I like below us. This is all crap. This is all crap. And then you've got this huge move that is pretty much untradeable in my opinion. You get down here, this is crap. Crap. Yes, I could say I have a level down here, but that's, where are we currently sitting at? Let's just see, we're 55.10. That's 40 points away. On the ES, that's a big travel. And even this one is not the greatest, to be honest with you. Not the greatest setup in the world. Here's a great one. Great level right here at 54.06 on the 15-minute. Again, don't think it's going to help me at all because that's probably 50 or 60 points away. So I'll move down to the 5-minute. Where did my price action go? Oh, we're above here. Let's see. Nothing. Got a level right here on the 5-minute at 55.60, but it got tapped into right here. Obviously, a nice rejection out of there. I mean, these levels work. Don't get me wrong. They work a lot more than they don't. But you gotta find clear levels that just have not been tapped into. I don't see anything here, people. I don't see anything. No 15-minute, no 5-minute level. Man, what a crappy. I mean, you could even say right here, this would be a level that, you know, granted this candle taps into it, gets tapped into here multiple times. Not fun. Not fun at all. Looks like a pretty boring day of trading then, if it continues like this. All right, let's take a look at the Rob reversal. Let's see what we got here. We had no trade setups yesterday. Taking a look at it, excuse me, taking a look at our chart from yesterday. So we start at 8:30 in the morning, which is, excuse me, we start right here. We did get a setup to go long, but this was invalidated because remember that one of my rules and conditions on the 15-minute Rob reversal is a 1-tick offset on your entry, which would have saved you into a very bad trade right here. We then get a setup to go short, but the next candle ends up crossing over the ADMA, and it was an up candle, so this automatically would cancel out. This closed above the ADMA, so this is a setup to go short, so that gets invalidated, and pretty much anything beyond here, well, we had the close at midday. And then looking at this morning, again, we get a setup to go long. This was at 6:15. So this is pre-session. We're not looking at trades there, but it also would be invalidated because it closed below the ADMA. If this candle right here, this 15-minute candle was to close as an up bar and it could get past the above the ADMA, you might have a setup here, but I don't think that it would get above the ADMA based on where this 15-minute candle is placed at. So no trade setups yet on the 15-minute Rob reversals. Let's kind of go over the stats for June. This would be trading, again, one E-mini. You've got oil session 1 that is up 109 ticks for the month. Granted, this is not taking into account today's trades, so that would be obviously adjusted. But you would be up 109 ticks or $1,009. Oil session 2 is up 7 ticks, so let's just call that pretty much break even. And then we've got gold that is currently up 73 ticks. Granted, again, this is not with this. We're going to have to take out today's trades. And the Rob reversal is up 2 setups, so 35 points each. So that's 1,400. Again, trading 1 E-mini. June, you'd be up currently 31.46. So that's where the stats sit for June. Again, if you want to look back into the previous month's statistics or performance, that is on my Discord now. That's a new channel that I opened up that pretty much has all of my statistics laid out. TradingView and Ninja, slight difference in data, same contract. Yeah, that happens. I'm actually having an issue with my TradingView charts currently. They seem to like update and then, I don't know. There's just something's acting kind of weird here. Because I've got, I don't know, it would have been right. One thing I wanted to look at was gold. So gold, we got in on this setup. Ain't that something? So gold, if I would not have adjusted my my risk down to 50%, we would have hit that trade, because remember our stop loss would have been right here, and take profit would have been, I think it was somewhere right around here. So that kind of stinks. Here I was praising the that little addition that I made, and kind of cost me on that trade. No, that's a great question. So yes, if you can, I pretty much base my statistics on the actual trade. So for instance, today's loss for me would have been, in my statistics, I will say that I believe we lost $120 or $130 on that trade. So I will put minus 12 ticks for today's trade. Even though today's trade, if you were trading the original strategy without moving the stop loss, you would have made 24 ticks. I believe it was what it was. In my actual stats, I will show today as a negative day. So I just take it off of my trades. I trade this stuff every single day. I make videos on it every day. So not to confuse people, I like to keep the statistics as realistic, obviously, as possible. So hopefully that answers your question. For those of you that trade the strategies, the ones that I was showing you guys here earlier. So if you're trading, let's say, the morning oil strategy, and you downloaded the strategy for NinjaTrader right here, remember, it'll take these trades for you. It'll find the inside bars, it'll straddle your orders, and it will calculate the stop loss to take profit all out automatically for you. Now, there is nothing built in there for your take profit to go to half risk at 70% take profit. So for those of you, are just looking at, or just have the strategy loaded into your NinjaTrader and are trading that automatically, my stats and your stats are going to be off. I think in the end of the day, it probably equals out, like a situation like today. Actually, I don't want to say that because I don't really know that for sure, but my stats, the stats that I post, is how I trade this every single day. And that is with the current strategy of how I am trading it. All right, so here's a good example on the levels trades on how you can start to kind of continue to build levels as price action develops. So on the 5 minute, I have found another level. We'll call this a crispy level because it is brand new and it is a pretty good one, at least on the 5 minute. So at 55.65, I have now built another level. Now, if I was to get another level built up somewhere over here, now you're starting to develop possibly a trading setup. So even though you don't find something going into the open or a little bit past the open, it's 8:50 now, so 20 minutes after the open, you still kind of have to develop these levels as you go. Obviously, I don't think anything on the 15-minute happened. Well, yeah, actually, it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst. Let's see, if I put this line right there, 55.70 on the 15 minute. So now you kind of have a trade setup. And your trade setup would look something like this. I could tell you right now that the risk to reward's not going to be good, which could also invalidate a trade for you. But if I was to take a long from this 55.65 level, I do have a stop loss at 55.60, but we're 1-to-1. I mean, 4 3/4 points, 4 3/4 points, and I like to set my stop a little bit below that level. So again, am I going to take a trade for 4, let's just call it 5 points to risk 6.5 points? Not necessarily, no. That's not something that I would be very interested in. But again, if you want to scalp for some points and you're dying for a trade setup, that is something that has developed in the last 30 minutes. Okay? So I'll keep this one here and see what happens. Let's take a look at the NQ. Don't really have to look at you don't have to look at oil or in gold right now because we're currently done with both of those sessions. Now, the only thing that could hopefully bring us either into the green or hopefully lower our loss for the day would be a trade in oil session 2. All right, let's start off in the 15 minutes. Do we see anything? There is not much on the 15 minute. And on the 5 minute, okay, so we've got a level right here that has developed. I will make this a dotted line. And now I'm starting to see something representing, wow, it looks just like the ES. I mean, pretty much if I was to take a long from the 2023, I can target the 2026. I can have the 178 as a stop loss. Again, just from looking at it from the eye, that's probably a 1-to-1. 23, 23, 24. I mean, pretty much 1-to-1. And then I would want to have a stop loss a little bit below it. So do I want to risk 30 points to make 23 points? No, not really. So even though this could very easily be a setup or a scalp here, it's probably something that I wouldn't entertain. But now we have a very unique situation. Now we have another 5 minute level that hasn't really developed yet because this candle's still going. But let's just say that we get a strong rejection down. Well, now you've got another level up here. And now we could target this level. Now you've got a positive risk to reward. Okay, so you can kind of see how I start to build up. How do I try to start to build up these trading ideas or trading plans as price action begins to develop. To me, this trade would look better like this than this. Yes, I could get these 20 points probably pretty easily. But again, my stop loss just doesn't look good. I don't really have a very good stop loss. And then just to verify, let me just move over, make sure. Let's see what I got here. This is the area that's in between my entry and my stop loss, a lot of consolidation. So not much there that I see that I like. So let me post this one. Actually, I'm not going to post it yet because I'd like to see this candle close and see what happens after that. Let's jump over to the ES really quickly. Okay. All right, nothing there yet. All right, let's take a look at questions from the chat if there is any. Is reducing risk part of the rule set? It is part of my rule set. I will say a few things on this whole 70% take profit, 50% reduction of stop loss. I will say that at least I haven't found a way to automate that. I don't know if that's the right way to say it or not, but it is a little bit subjective because honestly, I just go by, I'm trading these strategies manually. So I do not trade these with the Ninja Trader strategy, the one that I have on my website. I do like to trade these strategies manually. And, I probably get a bunch of questions as to why I don't trade that. Well, I have a very limited window to trade each morning. Obviously, everybody knows I've got a full-time job. I am a broker owner of a Remax office in the city. And I've got a very limited window to trade. And I love to trade. I mean, I enjoy the action of getting into a trade as much as everybody else. So for me, trading the strategies manually at least fulfill that part of the trading that I really enjoy. And the beauty of the Rob reversal being automated is that I can't be in front of the charts from 8:30 in the morning to 1:15 in the afternoon. I can't. I leave to work at about 10 a.m. So this works out very well for me. So I was right here. We did have an up bar, but it closed higher than the previous, so no setup there whatsoever. But on these morning and oil and gold strategies, I do like to trade them manually. So my 70% rule is something that I just honestly just do visually. Once I see price action hit there, so it might not, I hate to say that it's a rule set because maybe sometimes I'm at 68% and I reduce it, and sometimes it'll be at 74% and I haven't reduced it yet. Sometimes I'll go fill my coffee pot and it'll, things just happen. So I haven't, it's not an exact science, but it's pretty damn close. I can pretty much tell when price action has gone to 70%. Based on the amount of stop loss, based on the amount of take profit that they're currently at. So, but to answer the question, these stats here that I put up include whenever I reduce risk and we take a lower risk than, or a lower loss than the original strategy would have had on there, and vice versa. Today, that cost me money. So that cost me $240. That I forget who it was, or $220. Edna stated that, she in her, I don't know, Edna, are you trading the Ninja Trader strategy from my site? If so, it's not built into it. So, she probably would have taken full take profit. Maybe many people have taken full take profit on that gold trade while I took a loss. But my stats will still show today as a loss, not as a win. Because at that point, where does it stop? I don't want to cherry pick trades just to make stats look good or bad. So that to me doesn't make much sense. All right. So we're pretty much at the top of the hour, 9 a.m. 8:59. Got a minute left. So from 9 a.m. then we'll start to look for a trade setup in oil session 2. Again, currently I'm down 300 bucks. I know some people are probably in profit this morning, depending on how you're trading it. This is a good level right here. This is a pretty good level right there. Okay, so it looks like the Rob reversal's got us set up. Good call. Good call, Karn. All right, so for us to get activated into this trade, I'm trading one NQ contract, 35 point stop loss, 35 point take profit. It would have to breach our entry order to go short. Remember, there is a 1 tick offset. It's very difficult to see 1 tick in the NQ, but it's there. And I'm telling you, I don't know why, but that 1 tick of offset is pretty paramount to the strategy, as ridiculous as that sounds, on an instrument that trades 200 points up and down every single day. All right, so now we're in this trade. Again, 35 point stop, 35 point take profit. We are in a clear downtrend here, so we'd have to have the NQ pretty much keep dumping for a while here, which is a possibility. That's a pretty good push there. I just wanted to take a really quick look at my levels because this now looks interesting to me. This looks interesting to me. So the setup would look something like that now. Maybe take an entry from here. And I guess if we had a clear, what is this? This is 9. This is 4.5. So that's about 200 bucks. I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Don't love it, but I don't hate it. All right, and price action, we'd have to get down to this level for the Rob reversal to take full take profit. Feel conflicted. Oh shit, did we miss? No, we did not. No, we did not. Okay, so I got some time to think. That's pretty much at our entry. Debating this play on the ES. It's not like super clear to me. What to do. I mean, obviously we got a nice rejection off of this 15-minute level. Clear take profit. Stop loss sucks. You can automate the entire trade with Bloodhound, Blackbird. I'm assuming you're talking about the oil and gold. Yeah, I mean that's already been done. I mean we do have that automated. I don't know if you're talking about the stop loss reduction of 50% at 70% take profit. Funny thing is that I've watched a lot of videos on Bloodhound, and I think I understand it, and then I actually start to kind of like tinker, and it just goes above my head. So I kind of like to stay in my own lane and let the people that are smarter than me work on things like that, because that's outside of my wheelhouse. Um, Thinking of taking a trade here. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just see here. Let's. All right. Well, that order's in. All right, now let's take a look at Rob reversals up about 220 bucks. Still got a ways to go. All right. Let's see. All right, let me post this trade setup in Discord, which would look something like this. This is the ES. All right, let's post it in Discord here. All right, that's in. Now, the nice thing is that if I do get into a trade, more than likely the NQ would have concluded on the 15-minute Rob reversal. So there's always that thought. All right, let's take a look at currently up almost 300. We're probably up $330 there. Okay, so we'll let this one tinker here for a little bit. All right, nothing yet in oil session 2. I'll be back in a few seconds. Banger. All right, nice little trade there. Ooh, so exactly what I said. I said if the Rob reversal hit, our trade would also activate on the ES. So we are in a long. Now, I could be greedy and go for 475. Or I could be realistic at 225. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It's a negative risk to reward, so that kind of sucks. Let's see what happens here for a little bit. Let's see what happens. I do trade strategy on NT, and no, I don't move the stop loss to 50%. Okay. Ooh. I don't necessarily want... do I move my stop loss to 162? This is not a clear area. I mean, you kind of have to... I don't know. I think you almost got to be here. You gotta see that. It's not even exactly where I want it to be at, but let's see. It's pretty much been on a dump since the open. Not feeling the greatest about this setup. This could just continue dumping. Wowzers. Wowzers. Currently down about 200 bucks there. Let me just make sure there's nothing going on in oil. Nothing in oil. Not liking it. Not liking this one at all. But there's always hope, they say. But damn, that was a nice Rob reversal right there. 700 bucks. Even though I'm giving up 287 right here. This is where my stop would have been at. All right, so $299 loss on the ES trade. Let's see if I get a rejection here. Let's see if I would have listened to myself. Come on. Oh, it's definitely... Well, I can't really say it's a live stream curse just because... Oh, yeah, we would have hit... We would have taken the full stop right there anyways. Let's see if we get the rejection now. Now that I'm out. Let's see. 5 minute. Let's take a look at the NQ. Blasted through a lot of those levels. We do have some pretty strong level here. Yes. See, they're not all winners. And in pure transparency, it wasn't the greatest setup. But I took it, so I gotta own it. God, I would hate to see this thing go right now to that blue solid line. Let's take a look at oil. Nothing on oil. reversal. And I believe I have this set to finish off the day at 700. Let's see here. Maximum profit 700. Yeah, so this would this essentially turns off the strategy at this point because I hit my profit target of 700. So that side is good. Don't do it, ES. Don't put salt in the wounds here now. Let's see. Any trades taken in oil today? Yeah, so you missed our first trade in oil, which unfortunately was a loser. We were in some pretty decent profit on that one. I want to say oil session 1 was, let's see, how big of a trade was that? Like 16 ticks. Man, we were pretty damn close to take profit on that one too. So it took a 16 tick loser in oil session 1. And I personally took a loss in gold, which would have been a winner, but I reduced my risk by 50% at the 70% take profit mark, and took a loss in gold. Again, if you weren't reducing your risk, you would have taken a full take profit of, I believe, 24 ticks. Let me just see here. Maybe 23. 23 ticks. That stunk. So overall, a kind of up and down day of trading. And here's the thing with these type of setups that are pretty much mechanical and very rules conditioned. Not talking about the levels trade, just strictly the morning oil, gold. The nice thing is that each day you'll probably be presented with 2 to 3 trades, and that's pretty much it. So one, there's a decent diversification of trades, and sometimes you get the Rob reversal. Those probably come once every 2 days. I believe on Tuesday we took 2 winners in the same day. Sometimes you'll have a loser. Sometimes you'll have 2 losers in the same day. But the nice thing about these strategies is that since they're so mechanical in nature, it really avoids the whole revenge trading and over trading. Perfect example is this guy right here. Okay, this levels trades. Now you guys know that I've added this to kind of what I look for in trades, and I feel confident. I feel very comfortable trading this now, even though obviously I took a loss here this morning on this one. But I do feel a lot more confident in trading the ES and the NQ, this style. But there is a big but in that statement. There is a much bigger chance of falling into the over trading and revenge trading in this style of trading than obviously there is in oil and in gold and the 15-minute Rob reversal. So that's something that you got to be really careful with. And for instance, I'm down on this eval. I think we were at pretty much $22,000. I'm sorry, $52,000. I think, yeah, pretty close to it. And took a $290 loss. Now, psychology of the trader is going to tell you, well, I can make that back up. I'll just take one more trade and I can get this account back to at least break even. Well, what happens when the secondary trade doesn't go your way? And now instead of being down 290, you're down $600. Well, now you're trying to majority of the time you're going to over position. So instead of trading one contract, you might say, well, now I just got to put on two contracts and try to make back that whole $600. And that's a ball or a chain of events that's very difficult to control. And it's the number one way to blow evals, to blow cash accounts, to blow funded accounts. I can't stress it enough. The over trading, revenge trading part of trading is the most detrimental to a trader than anything else. Obviously, position sizing, capital, all of that's extremely important. Having a strategy that you have confidence in, extremely important. So that's kind of the mix there. And from what I have personally, what I implemented is kind of like the one trade rule, where I will take one trade per day. I'll try to find one setup. And many days, I don't think I've taken a levels trade in 3 days, besides the one here this morning, because there really wasn't a great setup. Even today's setup wasn't the best, but I like I said, I got to own it, and I did not, and I obviously got stopped out on that trade for sure. Let's take a look at the NQ. Wow, pretty damn big dump on both the ES and the NQ. Oh, shnikes. Did I miss that? I did. See? Ugh. Well, I got in just at the nick of time here in oil session 2. Come on, chat. You guys weren't even helping me out. 120 bucks. I gotta say, I give a lot of props to traders on YouTube that are live every morning. It's not easy. I give a lot of props to them. All right, so we are in a trade oil session 2. I don't even understand. My trading view chart didn't even pick the. It's terrible. Just a terrible start. All right, so we're targeting 120, risking 120. If we, I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch, but if we can get a win here, that would reduce our loss down to about 180 bucks for today on the morning strategies. But obviously not thinking about that yet. Let's see if we can get a strong push. We have been in this kind of range for about 35 minutes, so it's pretty strong likelihood that if we can get a push down, that I can see us taking full take profit here. I also felt really confident about oil session 1, and that didn't work out, but we'll see. So watch this trade as it happens. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, so we're down in oil. Oil session 2, we're down 70 bucks. It's just still stuck in this range. So we got an inside bar right here. We had an inside bar right here. We had a nice little push down. Inside bar, almost inside bar, another inside bar. Not technically an inside bar, but an inside bar with this one. So we're just stuck in this range here, and we need momentum. We need a strong push. Like I said, if we can break, in my opinion, 81.20, even though we got some strong rejection candles here, it's a tough trade. It's going to be a tough trade. Edna, hope you have a good day at work. I am going to be off to work after this trade as well. I knew it. So my original stop would have got hit on the ES trade, probably by half a point. Back to our original entry. That stunk. But let's see here what oil session 2 can do. Not looking good. All right, we got knocked out of oil. So the morning strategies today were a bust. We had a donkey day on the morning strategies. So down 420 on 2 oil sessions, 1 gold session. Again, the gold session would have been a winner for you if you were not reducing your risk. So take that for what it's worth. Nice day on the Rob reversal, up 700 there. And then took a loss on the levels. So all in all, I would say pretty crappy day of trading. But there's always tomorrow. That's the beautiful thing about trading. There's always tomorrow. You got to stay in the game. And stay in the game as long as possible. Feel comfortable with the strategy. Feel confident with the strategy. Stick to your rules. Stick to your conditions. Honestly, it's always going to be the best policy. I'm going to be done with the stream for today, and I'm going to leave the chat open for about another minute. I'll answer any questions that are on the chat. Do you avoid the news or not care with your strategies? So that's a good question. My morning oil and gold strategies, I do not trade them on high impact news days. Excuse me. The only thing to be careful about is oil inventory on Wednesdays. Obviously, that's going to be today at 10 a.m. But we're not in a trade for that to even worry about that at this point. Now, the Rob reversal, totally different. Rob reversal on super high impact news days like FOMC, where there's a lot of positioning going on in the marketplace. I will typically avoid trading the Rob reversal on those days. And I also find my levels trades to be very difficult, especially on high impact news at like 7:30 or 8:30, 8:45. Because of the fact that news spikes so much that it actually kind of kills a lot of levels. And from that point on, it becomes very difficult for me to trade. So that's kind of that explanation. And man, that would have, we almost would have been at full take profit there. But missed this one out by maybe a point, half a point. Actually, I didn't miss out on anything because I still took a loss, but it is what it is. So again, down 420 on the morning strategies in oil and gold. Up 700 on the Rob reversal, and then down 290 on the levels this morning. One more time for the stats for the month. This will obviously get updated. Oil's up 109 ticks, $1,009. Break even, let's just say on oil session 2, up 7 ticks. Gold up 73 ticks. And the Rob reversal up 70. Today, that would make it 105 points. So those are the stats for the month. And you can get those stats on my Discord. Again, if you're looking for any of the strategies to automate your trades, if you go all the way to the top of the chat, you'll see the website that I created. It's robstrades.com. And you can go there and pick up your indicator or strategy for NinjaTrader. And as always, thank you guys so much for the support. I will leave the chat open for about another minute. If anybody has any questions, I will do my best to answer them. This thing is, oil's really just in this range. We got kind of trapped in that range here this morning. Let's see. I'm just curious to see if we can break through this 81.20. At 81.20. Let's see. Thanks, Ralph. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how your trades have been going. This is the scenario right here where you're going to see a fight. But if it could break through that fight, I could see a pretty good, strong move down. All right, that's it for me today. Happy trading, everyone. I'll see you guys here tomorrow with some more trades. Take care.